Okay, so we're going to be sticking to PivX, and what I'm going to be showing you in this lecture is how to know your optimal trade entry, OTE. Optimal trade entry means what is the point in which you should enter a trade? What is the point you should buy? All right, and for this, we are going to use this side menu here. And particularly what we're going to use is if we go to the pitchfork and select the drop down, then you want to select Fib retracement. So Fib is Fibonacci, and Fibonacci was a very famous mathematician who explored the relationship between numbers and patterns. And so Fibonacci is very, very apt for cryptocurrency because what we've got is numbers and patterns. Okay, now the retracement means that we are able to see how much the market is taking back if we basically overlay the Fibonacci retracement on here. So if we start at the lowest point, which is about there, and go to the highest point, and this is a very recent price rise, okay? This is a very recent bull market, okay? So we want to basically explore the range. So it goes up to about here, all right? And then what you've got now is how much the market can take back, okay? How much would the coin be if the market took back 50% value, 61% value, 100% value? All right, you can see it via, if it appears within this kind of column here. Now, a basic rule of thumb in the stock market, and when people, stock brokers are looking at how a price is moving over time so that they can, inform their clients of, emerging markets, what they use is the Fibonacci retracement. And basically, the optimal entry comes in anywhere between 60 and 70%. So there's this principle, a tried and tested principle, that when there's been a bull market, the market will try and claim back 60% of that value back. And you can see that happening, okay? So it had a massive bull rise right there and then sank, okay? It took a lot of that value back. So you can see at this point, it's about, nearly about 45, 48%. All right, so it's taken quite a lot back. So in the stock market world, if the market takes back about 60%, that is your optimal entry point, your optimal trade entry. Okay, so I'm just going to use this rectangle to show the range at which you can buy. So if essentially the price enters this range, that's the time to buy. All right, so as you can see, PivX experienced a massive rise. Lots of people got rich on PivX, and I explained that earlier in recent successes. Now, you're thinking, right, PivX, I've missed the boat. What do I do? Do I still get in with PivX? Has it still got an amazing future ahead of it? Okay, now lots of people have been raving. PivX has got a massive evangelist community. People who love PivX, want to see it do well. And they're constantly asking me, PivX, what do you think of PivX? Supoman, what do you think? Has it got long-term value? Blah, 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 blah. A lot of coins, if you research them properly, have got good long-term value. As long as you have applied the 4 criteria. Has it got a good platform? Has it got a good community? And most importantly, is there the right entry point? Have you got a good place to get into the trade? All right. And this shows you that. Okay. So you've researched your coin, you've seen it's got potential, you want in, you use the Fibonacci retracement to know at what point you should come in. And as you can see, the PivX price has gone down and it has entered, it's even gone lower than the range. Okay, so if it's below the range, amazing. Okay, that is a strong time to buy. Now it's since gone up, down, and it's slightly above it. So it would be good, ideally, to get it within range. But we are seeing it at just above 60%. Just above it. All right, so it's still a good time. Seeing where it was, 85,000 to where it is now, which is 57,800, you can see that there is an opportunity to get into PivX before it potentially goes up to where it was before. And over time, as cryptocurrencies get more popular, as more people flood the market because they want to get into this really exciting game, the value of most coins is going to be driven up. Unless they're a dead coin, that if anybody does research will find out that's something not to get involved in. Most currencies will go up, and people are always looking for the most volatile cryptocurrencies. Now, let me show you something else that can be overlaid on top of the price, the OTE. And that is the long position. Okay, so if we just get that and enter it into this area, this will show you your potential risk reward ratio. Okay, so you ideally want it to be about 2 to 1. So you stand to make 2 times gain, but only 1 times loss. Okay, so the low point is about there, and the high point is up here. Okay, so as you can see, it's 1.87. Actually, I think it might be a bit too high, but it is about there. Yeah, so it's 1.87. If you can get that into the 2, that means that you have got that 2 to 1 risk reward ratio. Okay, so you are more likely to get reward than risk losing your money. Okay, if that makes sense. So you just get this long position and you click into the area where you have put the ideal range to buy, and you overlay it so that you can see what the risk reward ratio is based on the most recent high and the most recent low. All right, if you go back too long, okay, then we're not going on trend here. So we're going on a current trend. Okay, this current rise, which as you can see is a trend. So this gives you a good indication as to your potential reward from entering into this trade. Okay, so 2 things I need you to remember from this is optimal trade entry, the OTE. That is what the Fibonacci retracement allows you to deduce. Okay, and then we have got the risk reward ratio. Ideally, you want it above 2. Okay, so if we just put this up a bit and this down a bit, because this is where the price is right now, you can see that the risk reward ratio has gone down to 1.67. So what you ideally want is you want the price to come down lower. So if we just bring this lower, bring the lowest point up, okay, and then bring the highest point up to where it actually is the highest. So the more you wait for this price to go down to this point, the more likely it is you'll hit the 2 to 1 risk reward ratio. So I hope that's helped you with any coin, and this can be applied to any coin. Okay, you can put in any coin right here. Let's have a look at another one. So let's just have a look at Ripple. Okay, so we'll bring up Ripple. Ripple's another one that's done really well recently. Okay, so this is the most recent price rise. Are there any more? No. So this is the most recent price rise. So we'll use Fibonacci retracement once again. Lowest point, highest point. And then we will get the rectangle to highlight the best point. Now, as you can see, we are around that area again. Very similar to PivX. Okay, so it's gone right down below. It's gone right down below. Now, if we just get rid of this, we can actually go back a bit further. All right, so if we just look back a bit further, let's have a look at this price rise. Okay, so bottom point there, top point there. This is an incredibly huge rise. Lots of people got very rich with Ripple. Lots of people became millionaires with Ripple, okay, through this price rise. Okay, so let's once again get the rectangle and just overlay it. As you can see, it's pretty much the same. Okay, we are in that period. Now let's just get the risk reward ratio overlaid on top, the long position. Put it there. Okay, so we'll put the stop all the way down here, the rise all the way up here. So you can see it's a 1.94 risk reward ratio. Okay, so again, it's approaching the 2, so a good time to make the trade. Let's have a look at another one. Okay, Syscoin. Okay, lots of people have been raving about Syscoin. Okay, so let's just go back a little bit. Okay, so let's look at its most recent price rise. Okay, so let's use again the Fibonacci retracement. From that point to this point, we'll get the ideal price range here. Okay, so Syscoin's too high. Syscoin is too high at the moment, all right? So if you invest, so let's just put the long-term position, let's just put the long-term position in here, okay? So if we put the lowest point right there, and we leave the highest point there, it's a 0.28 risk-reward ratio. So you stand to lose $2.78 and make 28 cents out of this particular trade if you come in at this point. So if it goes down to its furthest point, you lose a hell of a lot of money. All right? That is why it's important to get in at the right time with a price. Okay? And don't buy too high. A lot of people buy too high. A lot of people say, is this the right time to buy Syscoin? Is it the right time to buy Syscoin? No, essentially. No, it's not. So that is how you come in at the optimal price point of a coin. So I hope that that has really helped you with deciding when to make your buys. Okay, so I hope that that's helped, and I will see you in the next lecture.